Hello there, this is Blue Leader standing by. And for my first video, I decided to go ahead and cover the current state of the Battlefront. My opinion is not going to be your opinion, so please don't take it the wrong way. I love Star Wars. Like, my love for Star Wars has grown since Rogue One. That's where I got my name from. So, like, when I play Battlefront, I play it because I love Star Wars, not because I love the game, but because I love Star Wars. So, the current state of the game, it's very, very fragile. Like, this update, in my opinion, is a make it or break it update. Because if it's bad and there's a lot of glitches and bugs, it's like, it would be like adding another nuclear power plant on top of Chernobyl and that exploding. It's just like that bad because there's so many bugs, there's so many glitches, there's so many things that they never ever fixed. But to get to the present, we need to go to the past. So this game was launched 2017 in November. I bought it, I pre-ordered it, I was so hyped. I was so ready for this game. And every day I played it, it was like I was playing something completely different from what we were promised and what we were shown. And don't get me wrong, it's visually stunning. It's a beautiful game. Like when you play it, you feel like you're in the Star Wars universe. But because of the rocky start that was created by the community, because people didn't like the fact that people with more money that were wealthier than them could buy star cards to make their characters better. Those are the people that don't have any skill whatsoever. I remember playing an all purple Vader, and I just wiped the floor as him as Luke with my green cards. Like, it wasn't even close. So, this game is mostly about skill. Once they fix certain bugs, it will definitely be more about skill. But because of that rocky start, it really fucked the game over. Because the developers, instead of making more content and like fixing the game, they had to completely revamp the progression system so that the people that were complaining could get what they wanted. So for about 3 to 4 months, there was really nothing. In December, we got The Last Jedi season, which included Phasma and Finn, Poe and Tally Starfighters, Crate and Dakar. And then a short time after that, when Solo came out, we got the Solo season, which was cool. We got Extraction. We got the skins for Han, Lando, and Chewie. We got Kessel. We got, I believe, after that, we got Jabba's Palace, which came along with Lando's Skilf outfit and Leia's Boosh outfit. And then after that, it came with Hero Showdown. So there was a lot of stuff they added. Ewok Hunt was added. I really don't give a fuck about Ewok Hunt, so I don't really play it. And ever since that point, it's just been a lot. Ever since that, the game made a complete 180. Like, the game was on the brink of death. Like, a lot of people, like, Battlefront updates say it wasn't dying, it was never gonna die. But I remember playing with like 10 people like every day on Battlefront, and as the months went by, the numbers were dropping. It went from 10 to 8 to 5 to 3. There's like, of the friends I played with, there's only 2 of them now that play this game. So it it really it really hurt a lot of people that it's a Star Wars game and it was so bad. There was bugs. There's still bugs in this game that were there in the beginning, and it seems like every patch they add, it's just like something else. Like there's something else they do that like messes up the game. But ever since Ben came to our community and became our community manager, everything just made like a complete like 180. Like it was awesome to see. And I want to thank Ben for sticking with us through the thick and thin. He's definitely one of us. And I want to make this clarification to everyone watching this video. Ben Walk is not a developer. He is a community manager. He does not develop the game. He doesn't animate anything. He just takes the information from the dev team, puts it into a form which we understand, passes that information through the approvals, through Disney, through Lucasfilm, through EA, and then it gets to us. So he's done a great job ever since he came on. He added a Padawan learner, who I believe now is a knight, hopefully. Jay, who I've talked to a couple times. He's a great guy. And the communication has probably been the best thing to happen to this game. And then at EA Play, Dennis gave his very awkward speech. And we were given a preview of what was to come. We were going to get Obi-Wan. We were going to get Grievous. We were going to get Dooku. And we were going to get the Chosen One, Anakin. And as the months got closer, I was getting so hyped. And that first month, the month of Grievous, I was like, oh man, I can't wait to be Grievous. I can't wait to be him. I wonder when we're going to get him. We didn't get him until the last day of the month. They named that the month of Grievous, and we got him on the last day of the month. Obi-Wan came next with Geonosis. And that in itself was another monster. I believe people still get stuck on Geonosis. So what the patch notes say about them fixing it, it's not true. So take what you read in the patch notes as a grain of salt. But it was beautiful to see. It's a great battle. It feels like you're actually at the Battle of Geonosis when the first two transports fall and it's just dust flying everywhere and you're seeing the blasters coming in at you. It's amazing. And then we got Dooku. And that was a great addition. Dooku was a great character. But again, glitches and bugs doomed the game because every time they add something, something else breaks. And then came young Skywalker, the Chosen One. And that's when the game really started to decline, in my opinion. Because that's when I started losing faith in DICE. And again, remember, this is my opinion, not yours, so don't take this personally. They have no idea what they're doing sometimes. It's like they just are fishing in the dark. They made Anakin so overpowered, and I believe everyone in the community called this. Like everyone's like, oh, he's gonna be OP, he's gonna be OP, and everyone's like, oh, I want that. And we are now like 3-4 months after getting Anakin, and people still want him kill switched because he's that annoying. He's the only character to be able to pull you and instantly wreck you as a blaster villain, like Iden or Bosk. So it is very hard, like as a player like me, to get into the game and to play it when there's an Anakin, because it's very annoying playing against him. And it just seems like they just keep adding Clone Wars content, and it's like, we don't want Clone Wars content. The 80% of the people do. And when I say the 80%, I don't mean the 80% that know what's right and what's wrong. It's the 80% that think that this game is perfect and there's nothing wrong with it, and that whoever hates on the game is negative like Swanee. But the thing about us, the people, the 20%, the competitive players that play this game on a regular basis, that can literally pinpoint any bug, is that we know what's going on. Like, we know. And it's so sad because we're not heard. The 20% is not heard over the 80%. I remember, I believe it was Star Wars HQ. They complained about Geonosis being one-sided. And then what happens? They switch it to the clones. It went from the droids killing everybody easily to the clones. And Geonosis was unplayable. Like, you couldn't win as the droids. You still barely can win as the droids. So, it's sad that they really don't recognize like the real feedback. Like Ben does surveys all the time, and they take stuff, and it's like you're taking like decent feedback, but you're not taking the feedback from the real people you need to. Like I offered my services and to test, and they said you can't because you're not international. So they really don't. I don't know what they do to test stuff. I don't know what they do in Dice, but whatever they're doing it wrong. And a lot of people in the community think they're doing it right, which is what I'm getting to now. My point. The game is in such a fragile state. Remember what Thanos said? Everything needs to be well balanced. So, as they add more content, the blade is staying there and it's getting down, down, down. But as they add more content, they add more bugs. But the bugs outweigh the content. So it's like every time they add something, they worsen the gameplay. And no one notices but the competitive people, the 20%, the negative people. And we're hated for it. Because why? Because we want a good game? We want a good Star Wars game? So what I'm trying to get at is that the current state is very fragile. If this update were to flop, and by what I mean by flop is that they release it and it's really fucking buggy, like the droidicas don't work, the TX tanks are bad. I mean, Naboo is the same fucking map. And if it's bad, I really don't think the future's that bright for this game, and the EA shills really don't have anywhere to hide. So I'm really happy to see what happens tomorrow. Um, but yeah, that concludes my rant. It concludes my video. It's my first video, so if you like it, please go ahead and give it a like. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. And I will see you guys later. And like always, may the force be with you.